What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude. And don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I do videos every single day. I do apologize about car videos. I try to avoid car videos, but sometimes that's just how life rolls. So the Elite 8 all set. We have the 1 seed Gonzaga against the 6 seed USC Trojans, and the 1 seed Michigan against the 11 seed UCLA, the 1 seed Baylor against the 3 seed Arkansas, and the 12 seed Oregon State against the 2 seed Houston. Now, this has been one of the craziest tournaments I've ever seen. I went back and counted 20 upsets, anywhere from a 16-point underdog win by Oral Roberts over Ohio State down to minor upsets, but a total of 20. But as I look at the brackets, 3 number 1 seeds still remain, and Houston is a 2 seed. So if Chalk wins in the Elite 8, it would actually still be 3 1 seeds and a 2 seed, which actually not that crazy. It's the journey to this point that's been crazy. First of all, Oregon State 12 seed. The only reason they even got in the big dance is because they won the Pac-12 tournament. Now the next thing, the 11 seed UCLA, they actually had a play-in game, which means they've played one more game than everybody else. This is the deepest a play-in team has gotten. Not to mention Oral Roberts. Not only did they upset Ohio State, but they also upset Florida, which they were a 9-point underdog, and they almost upset Arkansas. Props to Oral Roberts. I did not see that coming. Having said that, it looks like the high probability is it will be a 1 seed versus a 1 seed in the national championship. I say probability because, yes, they still have to play the games. And Arkansas is going to be a tough challenge for Baylor. So the only way a 1 seed plays a 1 seed is, number 1, Gonzaga, Michigan, one of those two teams end up in the national championship. And then on the other side, Baylor, the only number 1 seed left on the other side. And to be honest with you, which number 1 seed got knocked out? Well, in most people's opinion, Illinois was the weakest number 1 seed. So even that's not all that crazy. It's the journey up to this point that's been crazy. The end result might not all be that crazy, but that's why they call it March Madness, because those first 2, 3, 4 rounds, nuts, crazy. By the time you get to the Final Four, usually it looks at least halfway decent. Now, you've had, the George Masons, Cinderella stories like that where they did make it to the Final Four. That does happen. And Oregon State and UCLA are still in the dance, but they're not like no names. They are Power 5 teams. So yes, they would still be considered Cinderella stories. But what about the Pac-12 as well? They got 3 teams to the Elite 8. That's over a third of the Elite 8. 3 out of 8. That's crazy. I'll be the first one to admit I underrated the Pac-12. The committee definitely overrated the Big Ten. All that's left of the Big 12 is Baylor. Even the SEC only got 1 team into the Elite 8 because Alabama got beat by UCLA. So all that's left of the SEC, Arkansas. The Big Ten, all they have is Michigan. Of course, you got Gonzaga, Houston, and then 3 Pac-12 teams. So definitely not what I expected. But the end result could still be somewhat normal. There's still a chance of that, so we'll see what happens. If I had to predict, I would say Gonzaga and Michigan make it to the Final Four, and then on the other side, I'll say Arkansas and Houston. I think Arkansas is a great team. So my Final Four out of these Elite 8 would be Gonzaga, Michigan, Arkansas, Houston. But if you go back and look at my original brackets, they look like trash, so I don't know. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.